the End of the Day with Ray. Hello, my friends. You know, I saw some adverts out there on LinkedIn where some dealers were recruiting the people that got laid off from some of the OEMs or some other dealerships. Hey, come over here and work with us. And I'm thinking to myself, you ought to have more teeth in that advertisement. What are you really looking for? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we all know the industry's transitioning. Surely you're not out there looking to, get more people to sell print equipment. I mean, is that the focus? We want you to come over here and help us sell more print equipment, or are you looking for people that can help you sell more broader solutions, managed services, and other things? Surely by now you've built some other things into your portfolios. Folks, I went to look at a lot of the websites of my dealer friends. Still amazes me how many people don't update their damn websites, and their copyrights are way out of whack by 2 or 3 years. But I went over to Impact's website. I'm a big fan of Impact Networking. Let's be honest, folks, they're making the transition, okay? You look at that organization, and it's just truly amazing what they're accomplishing. So I go to their website. I just look at their careers page. There it is. Pull it up, folks. Go through it. Think about that young college graduate goes to that website. They go through this careers page, and they think to themselves, wow, I want to work here. Wow, this company has it going on. And folks, look at how they're advertising for these jobs. Look at what the qualifications they're looking for are. Okay? They're not looking for people to work in dad's old copier business. They're looking for people to help customers transition because they've already transitioned themselves. And young people look at that and they say, wow, so you got to know about video. Hey, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm great at video. Man, I'm great at writing blogs. Folks, when I look at some of the adverts that I see from my friends in the Document Imaging channel, I think you just copied and pasted something from 1990. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's really ridiculous. And you're not going to transition trying to look for 60-year-old guys and gals to come sell your copy machines. You're going to transition by bringing in some young blood to shake things up and change the game. So I want to share a story with you. It's a baseball analogy. So stick with me, folks, because this is the problem with our industry's transition. And this baseball analogy hopefully will hit home to you. So we start out, we play t-ball. It's just about having fun, right? Get out there, put the ball in the stick, and hit the hell out of it, right? Not a whole lot of training involved. Just have some fun. Little kids having fun. Then they get into Little League, and that's where they learn the fundamentals of structure and discipline. There's rules now. You got to play with others well, that kind of stuff. You start molding this young person, right? Then they go into college ball. Now they have accountability to their camaraderie. What an important thing. Accountability to their camaraderie. They trust each other. They tell each other the truth. They can criticize each other and compliment each other in ways to help each other because they trust each other. Then they move on to become pros. And in the pro world, it's the brutality of winning. It's the brutality of winning. They're not there to have fun. Their fun comes from winning. They already have accountability to camaraderie, or they'll never be a pro. They already have the fundamentals of structure and discipline. And like I said, they only have fun when they win. It's really disturbing sometimes when I listen to some of the adverts that my friends have out there in the Document Imaging channel about bringing people together for a webinar. They can't just say, we're going to talk about some really tough things we got to talk about as an industry. But don't worry, we're going to have some fun. So bring your popcorn and your Coke. We need to get to the brutality of winning, and we need to get there quick, because right now the transition of the Document Imaging channel, we're still playing t-ball. We've all heard the work-home balance. We're trying to balance elementary school with work in the Document Imaging channel. We're trying to balance elementary school with work. We want to all show up on the t-ball field and have some fun and bat a little ball around that's sitting on a stick, because we can't face the brutality of winning. We can't deal with the brutality of winning. We don't want to have accountability to our camaraderie. We want to meet at our meetings and our peer groups and just completely lie to each other. Make stuff up. We're knocking it out of the park. We got OEM leaders out there that can't even be accountable to their camaraderie. And I've been pretty critical of that. Fundamentals and structure and discipline. Folks, we should have had this stuff already. We're late. We're listening to crazy people in the marketplace coming to our peer groups and telling us things that make no damn sense, and they don't share the accountability for what they're telling you. And I've talked about this before. Stop going to venues where you're listening to the IT consultants who 90% of their customers are doing $1 million a year in business. And when they tell you that people are knocking it out of the park, and when they tell you that Billy Bob Johnson has great success with them, make them prove it. Because in order to win, it's brutal. When the pro team has an issue, they fix it quick. If the issue's with a coach, they fire them. If the issue's with a pitcher, they trade them. And they don't apologize for doing it. They do what they need to do to win. Please, industry, stop playing T-ball. I put this chart together, and folks, this is scary stuff. Earlier this week, I talked about how the color film just fell off a cliff, and I wanted to see what other things fell off a cliff. Because everybody in the print channel knows that eventually business print will fall off a cliff. It's not rocket science. And don't get distracted by industrial print, production print, because without business print, all the rest of that stuff is really in jeopardy of falling off its own cliff, because the OEMs won't be able to afford to make the equipment to deliver it. Because without business print, it puts pressure on everybody. Most intelligent dealers that are out there today that are honest with their data will tell you that print's about 20% down. I know you're going to hear the braggers stand on stage and talk about how their print volume is growing. Well, they forget to tell you that they bought a bunch of dealers and added the print volume to their existing volume, and now they think it's growing. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know that it's declining. Doesn't take Ray to tell you that. The only thing we're arguing about is when it goes off the cliff. So look at this. The dramatic decline of print advertising. Boom, off a cliff. The disappearing of bank branches. Boom, off a cliff. Netflix versus Blockbuster. Boom, off a cliff. When is print going to go boom off the cliff? And why are you all so patient, thinking that it's going to stick around so much longer? This is the chart, folks. This is the chart we need to be chasing. Managed IT services. Folks, look at the growth. Don't we want to go this way? Don't we want to chase a chart that's going up instead of one that's going down? The only way we're going to do that is to get into a brutality of winning mindset. Is to get accountability to our camaraderie. It's to really start getting some disciplines in place and structure in place. You can't continue to try to pursue managed IT services the way you've been trying to pursue it for the last 10 or 12 years. It's not working. You can't run out there and try to go buy up some $1 or $2 million IT services company and think you're going to put that on top of a 10 or 15 or $50 million print dealership. It's going to take bold action, bold leaders. Back in 2016, I put this article out. There was my very first one I wrote on LinkedIn. It was titled, "When I Grow Up, I Will Not Know What a Copier Was." That was 6 years ago. That toddler today is about 7, right? 7 years old. Do you think she's moving paper around, or do you think she's staying on the iPad? She's probably got 2 or 3 iPads since then. In 7 years, she'll be 14. In 14 years, she'll be 21 in the workplace. Do you think that toddler's going to be shoveling papers around? Between now and the next 14 years, as that toddler grows up, when's business print going to fall off the cliff? And when are you, as an industry, going to be ready? Well, you see, here's the reality. When it falls off the cliff, it's too late. Getting ready is now. Implementing other services and products is now. So when it falls off a cliff, you don't even notice. That's what'll give you continuous relevance. Just some things to think about, my friends, because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.